Hello, everybody. Welcome to Why Your Strategies to Start Working to Keep Kids Focused. Today, we're going to be talking about why your students can't focus and 3 brain-based strategies to turn that around. So, you know, those days where you walk into your classroom and you're just like bracing for chaos, like you're just like, oh, I can feel it in the air. It's going to implode. You know, like no matter what or how well you planned or this, like how many great projects that you have cooking, the moment that you say, all right, guys, let's listen up, half the room is checked out and the other half is like 2 seconds away from absolutely melting down. You're not a bad teacher, first of all, but if you're trying to motivate students with tools that ignore how the brain works, then you're gonna feel like you're constantly chasing fires. I call this triage mode. Like you're just constantly bandaging up bullet wounds instead of preventing them. That's like a really extreme example to use in a live talking about student learning, but here we are. I'm filled with extreme examples. So chasing fires and just putting them out constantly is incredibly exhausting. And it is wasting so much time and energy that we do not have, right? Like we are, especially right now, it's March, we're to our energy, mental and physical energy time limits, okay? We're barely holding on. So it's really important for you to understand what's going on under the surface of the kids, like checking out, not paying attention, being really hard to get to engage and focus. So here's what's going on under the surface. There's a part of the brain, and we've been talking about it like all month. It's called the striatum, and it filters out what we pay attention to based on reward, relevance, and emotional engagement. In the last live, I called it the brain's hype boy because it gets the brain hyped up and motivated. And it does that by being like, all right, hey, look at that, look at that, look at that. That's important. Pay attention to that. That's going to get us really good stuff, right? That is the striatum. So it filters what we pay attention to based on reward, relevance, and emotional engagement. That is not like sticker charts and candy bar rewards. That is meaningful, intrinsic rewarding. When the striatum is activated, it says, okay, this matters. This is interesting. This feels good or safe or important. What it's not, the brain tunes out, okay? Attention drops, behaviors flare. Now, for neurodivergent students, especially those with ADHD, autism, anxiety, trauma, or sensory processing differences, the striatum is much, 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 much more selective. If something feels boring, overwhelming, irrelevant, or risky, whether physically or emotionally, it's a hard no. That striatum is like, nope, I'm not going to do it. Not hyping you up for that. Let's stare out the window. That'll get us some good daydream time. So that's why some of your students can focus for hours